Sonic Forces is a game that attempts to take the Sonic series in a different direction by trading the bright, cheerful premise to a pseudo-post-apocalyptic setting where Eggman has finally taken over the world and enslaved the populace. However, despite the bold shift in tone, the addition of a customizable character, and a new villain who means business, Sonic Forces still somehow manages to be a Sonic game that plays it safe at every turn, leading to a game that, to be fair, has a solid bone, but has no real need to it.
Sonic, Eggman's forces are surging into the city. We need you here now.
Hold on, Tails. I'm on my way.
Now, despite Eggman burning the world into absolute rubble, it turns out to be really pretty rubble. The graphics don't quite match the raw detail of other games in the market, or even games in the same series, but Forces more than makes up for it by having the game run at a mostly consistent 60 frames per second. Unless you own a Switch, but that's to be expected to a successor to the PlayStation Vita. The music is also very good, bringing back the cheesy lyrics and stages we all know and love Sonic for, as well as a new dubstep electro-styled sounding soundtrack. Although sometimes tracks can play in places where they feel like they don't belong. Sonic Forces divides its gameplay into 3 playable characters: Sonic, Sonic, and not Sonic. 4 if you count the segments where you play as Sonic and not Sonic together. Sonic plays similarly to how he plays in games like Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations. You'll boost at Sonic speed through enemies, do some light platforming, and transition between 2D and 3D perspectives. When the pacing is strong, the set pieces are grand, and when you're making split-second jumps and decisions, this gameplay style can be just as enjoyable as previous modern Sonic games. Despite this, however, the level design hardly ever opens up. Levels in this game feel flat, uninspired, and linear, despite their flashy look. And when the level does feel more engaging, it ends before it leaves any lasting impact. Even the endgame levels take less than 2 minutes to beat, making even the best levels of the game end with you asking yourself, wait, was that it? Not Sonic gives the option to customize a Sonic of your very own. You can give it its own outfit, voice, animations, and a Wispin weapon to wield. While the variety of weapons is appreciated, there's really no reason to experiment with weapons, and you can just plow through the game with the starting weapon anyway and be just fine. Not Sonic's levels are a bit more intricately designed with more platforming and obstacles, but its platforming controls leave a bit to be desired. It just accelerates far too quickly, and its jump feels very unnatural. Not terrible, but again, not as good as the games that came before it. Last of the gameplay styles is Sonic, which plays like the old Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog games, or at least tries to. This rendition of Sonic has never felt more stiff and awkward to play as, even with the new drop dash ability. While the levels are the most open in the game with alternating routes to the goal, all of these routes still feel really dull and just plain boring. Like, auto-scrolling in a Sonic game? Really? These levels borrow far too much from its predecessors without really improving on them, leaving this portion of the game a complete waste of time.
This is Green Hill, right? Something is wrong.
Now there are times when the game reaches its potential, however. Boss fights are fast and frantic, and even the ones that confine you into a set arena are still fun and challenging. Levels where you play as both Sonic and not Sonic are a fun time since you can utilize both of their abilities at once. And the campaign where you play as Shadow the Hedgehog is a wonderful love letter to Sonic Adventure 2 fans, especially those fans who enjoyed the music. And of course, the story reaches fan fiction levels of so bad it's good. Now depending on what you're looking for, yeah, you can roll your eyes, or you can just sit back and watch how joyously stupid it all is.
80% of our forces have been wiped out, and we've lost contact with the rest.
The best words to describe Sonic Forces are safe and shallow. The new shift in tone may make this game feel special and new, but its dull level design, questionable controls, and short length leave a lot to be desired. Forces had every right to be one of the best modern Sonic games to date, but for one reason or another, it just plain isn't, leading to a game that only the most forgiving players will fully enjoy.
I will teach you to hold that tongue next time you meet. You can count on it.
Final score? 6 out of 10.